and I really want to see the final.
Pop culture explosion! I'm your host, Michael Maddock, and this is
Paul O'Connor, and today this is a channel dedicated to pop culture. We'll be discussing movies, TV shows, and trailers, and we'll be doing all the research, and we'll be giving it to you. Now, I just want to preface real quick. Yes, we are two middle-aged geeks, but we do not live in our parents' basement. And if you do, we love you, because you are our target audience.
Target audience today. We're talking about Deadpool. Episode 1. It's all the rage out there right now in the theaters. 333 million worldwide. That was a surprise out of left field. Hello.
I knew it was going to be big, but I did not think it was going to be that big.
Well, I thought it would at least make money. You know, I predicted 65 million. You know, we'd break even, maybe get a sequel. You know, but this is way beyond. Here we got a C-list character came out in 1991 as a villain. And he kind of morphed into this sort of anti-hero that we all love.
They realized they had a villain here that everyone loved, and you can do so much more as a hero with his own comic book than you could with a villain. So yeah, I mean, really, the fan base is what really turned him into an anti-hero, in my opinion.
That's right. Now, when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, I thought, that's going to be Marvel's first kind of floppy whatever. Wrong. AntMan. Same thing. Wrong. What is going on here?
I got to tell you, when my 15-year-old daughter and I, we were pretty excited about Guardians. I think it was the couple trailers they made. They looked really good. You're the one that pretty much dragged me to go see AntMan. I had no intention of seeing that movie.
Hey, I'm a purist. I have to see them all. It's just like homework for me, and we just were kind of blown away, especially just some of the ridiculous. It just kind of made fun of itself. But.
Well, I think, though, that all three of those movies, Guardians, Ant-Man, as well as Deadpool, they all had one thing in common. There were C-rated comics and heroes. I mean, I was a kid in the 80s. I collected the comics. I heard of Guardians of the Galaxy, but I never read those comics. Ant-Man, I knew of him really just because he was around. But we had these three C-rated, franchises, and Hollywood gave us something fresh.
Well, and they all have the it factor. I don't know how they can keep catching lightning in the bottle. I don't know. And the other Fox and Warner Brothers and Sony, they're all trying to emulate this. So yeah, very surprised out of left field.
Talk about lightning in the bottle. When you're creating something, okay, you're creating something for a couple of different reasons. I look at generally the Fox Studios and the Sony. They're looking to make money, and I think they also need to prove that we're better than Marvel. And I don't think they focus on making a good movie. I think they're focused on just making money.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you turn that thought around, if you go, okay, I'm going to focus on just making a really good movie. I don't care if it breaks even. I want to make a good movie. I think that's what we saw here today with Deadpool.
Yeah.
They just made a really good movie.
Yeah, and that's what brings us to talking about why it worked. It was funny.
Yes,
very funny. Loaded with quotables.
Hashtag drive-by for those that saw it.
I don't normally say this, but don't swallow.
Don't swallow. And if you see me walking around with a unicorn, no, I didn't do it. So no, it was a great movie. Good character development. I love the action scenes.
Yeah.
They're getting on this big hype thing about the rating. It's rated R. That's why it did so well. You know, I have to disagree with that. The R rating was needed to make a good Deadpool movie. If it was PG-13, no, it would not have done as well because they would
Being true to the character.
They would have really limited themselves creatively wise. But now they're like, well, let's make Wolverine R. The new X Factor movie that they're going to be making.
It's a bandwagon. Bandwagon alert. Let's make all these movies R. I will say that Wolverine, he should be rated R anyway. Because they totally neutered that whole thing. I mean, I'm watching the last train wreck when he was in Japan. And I see him. He's just gutting everybody like this, and there's no blood or anything. I mean, I can't buy this character who is cool because he has these razor claws that are lopping off heads and guts and all this stuff. And there's nothing.
No, I agree.
Okay, so something, I can understand. Okay, let's make that rated R. Or Spawn, that script is done, and they're trying to push that one, but. But it just seems like the bandwagoners go, an R-rated movie worked. Let's make them all R-rated.
Well, the second Punisher movie with John Travolta in it, that was rated R.
You actually saw that?
Actually, I saw it it's one of my favorite movies.
Really?
I love that movie, actually. Sometimes it's really hard for us to be friends, but we do work it through. No, I liked it. And that was rated R because, again, it just gave the network more freedom and flexibility. So when people say that Deadpool was the first rated R Marvel movie, no, it wasn't. No. And it definitely will not be the last.
That's the muggles out there.
Yeah.
That aren't really sure what's going on. And then I think we kind of touched on it. He's true to the character. They tried to stick with how the comics were. I mean, there's certain things that obviously were missing.
The only thing, I'm pretty much a snob when it comes to these movies, and I've been really disappointed with a lot of the movies using, just not even bothering with the source material. So I'm really nitpicking on this one. But I would have loved to have seen either Bubbles with his other voices in his head, or just hearing the voices, because that's what made Deadpool so crazy. I didn't see a crazy Deadpool. I saw a sarcastic, funny as hell, I don't give a damn Deadpool. But I didn't see a psycho crazy one, because it's those psycho crazy ones that really scare the living crap out of you.
So, and I'd be interested to hear about why they decided not to go with that. But another thing I enjoyed was the sort of non-linear origin telling. They dropped it right into the action.
No parents died.
Yeah.
That was awesome. No Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
No great power comes great responsibility. With great responsibility comes great power. You know what I'm saying.
But it's a way to keep you engaged. I don't know. I get bored with origin stories, especially ones that are rebooted and they have to keep doing it over and over. I'm not saying they
yes,
any
we
names.
know how Batman came from.
So they did a really good job with that. I'm trying not to spoil anything, but I was not disappointed with how they handled the origin of the character. And we should mention Colossus.
Oh my goodness,
That's not a secret. I mean, and they did a fantastic job.
Colossus was never one of my favorite X-Men. But you know what though, when I saw the movies that he was in, it was just some dude with black hair. He walked around without a shirt and he had some muscles. That was it.
He was barely in the
very two-dimensional.
What was that, even like X2 maybe that he was in?
He was in X-Men 2, he was in X-Men 3.
It's been years since I saw him.
But this Colossus, they did it right. I mean, the dude was a monster. I mean, he was huge. He actually had lines of dialogue.
He was a nice guy.
He was a nice guy.
A nice guy.
But Colossus is a nice guy. I mean, he takes one for the team. He has a little bit of wisdom, and no, I thought they did a great job. The XMen Girl, I can't remember her name because her name is like five.
That's one of those names you can constantly forget.
But she was fun.
Megasonic Teenage Werewolf or something. I don't know.
So she was good.
Yeah. A lot of good banter with Deadpool and her. Very funny with that.
So Mike, final thoughts on Deadpool. Besides, go see it if you haven't.
Excellent movie, 333 million worldwide. It blew me out of the water. Don't take the kids. I do like the fact that they had the X-Men references in there. There are tons of Easter eggs. Definitely, this is one you're going to see multiple times in the theater. I would highly recommend, and then own it on Blu-ray and what have you.
And ladies, those of you that have crushes on Reynolds, you see his butt. Okay, Not just that,
dinner rolls.
not just that though, but there is a fight scene where Ryan
Reynolds.
Thank you. Actually is shooting it nude for like 2 days. So yeah. So ladies, if you like that thing, go see it. And guys, if you also like that thing as well, you'd enjoy it too. So with that being said, guys, if you enjoyed this video, thank you for watching. Please subscribe for future episodes. And in the comments below, we'd love to hear your thoughts. So, Mike, our next episode?
All right, next episode up, Batman vs. Superman, loaded conversation.
Oh my goodness.
Juggernaut doesn't have too much on its shoulders. The two largest icons in the pop culture history go head to head. It can't lose.
Or can it?
Pop culture explosion. Look for episode 2 coming to a theater near you.
Thank you for watching.
Peace.